what's up YouTuber? It's me again, Brian, aka Gamer55551, and I'm back with a video game My 2 Cent video. And for this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Wii, which has recently just turned 10 years old. It's been 10 years since the original Wii, released back in 2006 though. And I remember getting that system. I remember waiting in line at my local Target to pick it up though. I have to say, looking back at the Wii's history, I think it was both good and bad in both ways though, okay? I think that there was no doubt, there's no denying the fact that the system was a major success in so many ways, selling like over 100 million units though. I mean, even outdoing the 360 and the PS3 at the time though. Hell, those systems came up with their own motion control system, the PlayStation Move, and you know, the Kinect. Of course, we all know what happened to the Kinect though, exactly though. And I have to say that I do think the Wii was a good system, and I think if you were willing to dig through a lot of the games, there were plenty of good games, and some I even enjoyed on the Wii. Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 were a personal favorite of mine. I'm a big fan of platformers. In fact, The Conduit, GoldenEye were good first-person shooters on the Wii though. I mean, surprisingly, they did a good job with those games. Exactly. Metroid Prime 3 Corruption, another good game, which was later, eventually they released Metroid Prime Trilogy. That is basically 1, 2, and 3 on the Wii as well. Let's see, what else? Skyward Swords was a fun game, indeed. Even Twilight Princess was as well, though. Even though the Wii was also home for a lot of Rabbids games, though, I have to say, I would say Rabbids Go Home was probably one of their better games, though. So that one was also good, along with Prince of Persia: The Forgotten Sand and Red Steel 2. Not the first one. The first one was just, well, bad. This one certainly was a better game for sure. That Red Steel 2 was. No More Heroes 1 and 2 from Suda51. I enjoyed that game as well, though. I've also enjoyed his other games like Shadows of the Dam and Killer 7, though, that was released on the GameCube. Shadows of the Dam was released on PS3 and 360. Oh, and Killer 7 was also released on the PlayStation 2 as well. And of course, Mad World, though, one of my first games that I played from Platinum. Again, another fun game indeed, though. So, the Wii, I won't deny the fact, had some good games. But it was also a controversial system at the same time. Now, one of the big selling points for the Wii was the fact that it was targeted towards, you know, a casual audience, though, you know, like, you know, the soccer moms, their grandmas, and so on. We know with games like Wii Sports and so on. And in theory, it wasn't a bad idea, though. I mean, it was sort of a blessing and a curse to a certain degree, though. And I think where it ultimately became a curse was that while those games sold well, it was very hard for hardcore gamers, unless you are a huge Nintendo fan, to pick up a lot of the games, because a majority of those games were really, like, I hate to say this, but they were really shovelware crap, though. I mean, when you have a game that has a bunch of mini games that sell more than, say, a true, like a true hardcore game, or a game that actually uses the motion control properly, that tells you something about the Wii, though. I mean, again, like I said, it had a good success, but it also came at a price, and I think that was one of the big things. And I think towards the end of its life, though, I think once that crowd, the casual market, started to leave, though, thanks to, you know, like, smartphones and tablets, though, then you started to see sort of the decline with the Wii as well. So that was one of the controversies, though. The other controversy was, of course, the famous Operation Rainfall, where 3 big RPGs that were developed for the Wii, though, Pandora's Tower, The Last Story, and Xenoblade Chronicles, where Nintendo of America said that they were not going to bring the games over here to the US, which caused a major outcry and a major sort of controversy surrounding it, though. And because a lot of people felt like Nintendo abandoned them, it sort of gave the impression of, we don't need you hardcore gamers anymore. We got the casual crowd. We'll cater to them from now on. Of course, that kind of would come back and bite him in the ass, though, with the Wii U, when that crowd wasn't there to carry the weight for the Wii, though. Carry the weight for the Wii U, however. So, I mean, the system certainly had its controversies. I won't disagree, but I didn't hate the system. I really didn't. I think it had a cool concept. I think there were some good games on it, though. I think there were some games that did do the motion control properly. I'm not saying every game approached the motion controls, but it certainly was still a fun game. And like I said before, Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 were really, really fun platformers, though. First one I like because of the music, though. I like the music when you fight Bowser, and also the Bottleneck Galaxy. And Mario Galaxy 2 was also fun, but also difficult as hell, though. It really tested your platforming skills. Also, you know, Donkey Kong not Tropical Freeze, that was Wii U. I mean, Donkey Kong Country Returns was also awesome as well. So, overall, I have to say the Wii, being it's 10 years since the Wii has been out, though, I have to say it was a good system. It certainly, I do applaud Nintendo for trying something different, though, but that's not to say the Wii is not immune to some of the controversy. And I think the problem with the Wii eventually was carried over to the Wii U for lots of reasons. So now a lot of people can point to many reasons why it didn't do too well, but I think one reason, not the only reason, but one reason is that I feel that Nintendo let the success of the Wii go to their heads, and they were thinking that lightning was going to strike twice. Well, obviously it did not. So overall, kudos to the Wii for turning 10, though. I think it was an interesting system at the time when it came out, though. I think, like I said, it has its share of controversies, but you know what? I still enjoy it, though. Alright. Before I end this short video, I do want to talk about, speaking of, as I mentioned, the Rabbids one, I do want to point out a recent rumor that has just started to pop up. Now, bear in mind, there's no 100% way to confirm if this rumor is true or not. It could be false for all we know, so take it with a grain of salt. I'll have a link in the description. You can read it yourself and come to your own conclusion. But supposedly, Ubisoft and Nintendo are sort of teaming up for what could be a crossover with both the Rabbids and the Mario franchise, teaming up in what supposedly is an RPG, though. Now, according to the game, according to what we've heard so far, it's currently under the title Mario RPG Invasion of the Rabbids, which is being developed under monitoring from Nintendo. Supposedly it's being developed by Ubisoft, but being monitored by Nintendo in terms of how the character should be presented, though. Supposedly that the game will have a quick save system, and from what I understand, there's been other reports coming out claiming that the game will follow sort of a Fire Emblem approach in terms of battle system, though we don't know if that's true or whether it will follow the, the traditional Mario RPG battles, though. I will say overall, I think it's an interesting idea. We don't know if it's true or not, but I do think it's an interesting concept and idea, and one I'm willing to try out myself. I'm willing to give it a go and see if it works out or not. We'll find out, hopefully. I'm hoping on January 12th, when Nintendo talks more about the Switch, we'll hear more about it, though, and hopefully, if this turns out to be true and it does well, hopefully this is the start of seeing more and more third-party support for the Switch, though, because I really think that was one of the biggest problems with the Wii U. Without that major third-party support carrying the weight, though, you had a lot of dry spells and a lot of people were waiting for a lot of the games from Nintendo, some of which Nintendo had to rush out, though, that really were not as completed as they should have been, though, alright? They weren't bad, but they just weren't at that level without the third-party support, though, so if this rumor turns out to be true, I'm very interested to see how it plays out, and we'll have to wait and see on January 12th whether it's true or not, or whether we hear any more information about it. Alright, anyway, this concludes my video on my 2-cent video game video on the Wii turning 10 and the Mario and Rabbids rumors. And again, these are my opinion, but what are yours, though? What are your thoughts about the Wii turning 10? Were you happy about the system? Were you not happy about it? Were there games you liked about it? Were there games you didn't like? about it though. And what about this Mario and Rabbids crossover rumor? Do you think it's real? Do you think it's not real? Are you open to this idea? Are you against it though? Sound off on the comment section. Let me know what you think. I hope you hit the like button. I would really appreciate that. And I hope you subscribe to my channel. Anyway, this concludes my video. It's evening here in Southern California, and I will see you again next time when I do another video. Hopefully soon. Until then, from Southern California, wish you guys a good evening. Bye.